What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Corey Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Easley, and I'm back with a brand new episode. We're in the 150 somethings. We've been doing this for a long time. How's everybody feeling today? I got a lot of things I could talk about right now, but I'm feeling really good. And physically, I'm feeling great. I feel like my nutrition is dialed in. I feel like my sleeping is great. My body feels a little bit beat up at the moment from training, but honestly, it's more like it feels good beat. Like I'm a little sore and obviously specific areas that I've been training, but which is really my whole body. But the program that I'm on, Hard Work Pays Off. Shout out to Matt Fraser and all those guys. Not and who knows if they'll ever hear this, but the program is just so well done because you get so much time to recover. And it's funny because like as a fitness professional, and I work in the field, so this is the thing, right? I get to help people get in shape. I get to train people one-on-one. I go to people's homes and train them. I train people virtually. I work at a studio and I do a little group fitness as well, but my main work is in training people one-on-one for the most part at the moment. And it's just great because I get to change people's lives, but it also gives me the time to enjoy what I like to do, which is just be in the gym and train and work on things that like I have my own personal goals. And in and outside of the gym, I'm sure we all have goals. Like I now think about like I have like bank account goals, you know what I mean? I have things I want to accomplish in a certain amount of time goals that I think about. And I'm not unreasonable and I'm very patient. So, because I genuinely, like people talk about, you got to trust the process, you got to enjoy the journey. But like, I really do enjoy the process of getting up, putting my practicing better habits that are going to help put me in a position and set me up for success. And there's so many things that go along with it. It's like you could, everything we digest is part of like your health, right? Like shit you listen to, the people you hang around, the fucking your environment in general, right? So I just feel really good. I'm in a good place, and I'm really focusing on recovering and resting and training hard. And people talk about like training versus working out. What are you training? You're not training if you're not training for something. What are you training for? What am I training for? I got personal goals that I'd like to hit. I'd like to get strong enough to do certain movements with ease. Strength is everything. Strength is longevity. Strength is the difference between really struggling to get through a workout and not. Strength is the difference between having a hard time carrying your fucking groceries home and, needing to jump in a goddamn Uber or something to take you 2 blocks because you can't carry all the shit you need back to your fucking apartment if you live in a city like New York. If you get in a car, then whatever, go fuck yourself. No, good for you. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel good. And I think I mostly feel good right now because just candidly, I've been really getting better at advocating for myself in certain situations. I think we all can portray whatever facade we want on social media, but when things come down to uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable situations, if you're in a situation and you want to change it, especially professionally, or you feel like you're not being heard, you have to speak up. And it could be the most uncomfortable thing in the world, but you just gotta do it. You gotta speak up, you gotta advocate for yourself, especially if you know your worth. You know what I mean? So my unsolicited advice out there is advocate for yourself in some way, shape, or form, because it feels good to speak up. And if you feel like something's unfair, say something about it. If you feel like you're not being utilized to your full potential, say something about it. If you have a skill set that you you would excel at, and people just need to give you a shot, go for it. Go for it. That's the type of shit I'm on right now. And I feel really good. I feel really positive. Yeah. I'm just in a really good headspace, and it's crazy. So I spoke to my mom yesterday, and because I thought about this, I was like, I haven't spoken to my mom in like maybe like a week and a half, something like that. And I spoke a week and a half is what I said. In case you listen to this on sped up, I listen to my own podcast when I listen back to it, so I could, sometimes I don't because I'm like I don't know what I said and I don't want to hear it again. But I'll listen back to it on. It's like a little slightly sped up, like on 1.5, I think, or it might even be like 2.0. So sometimes I'll say things and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I said that so fast at regular speed that if people do listen to this sped up, they probably don't even understand what I said. And it's not like you could put it, can you put it in slow motion? Maybe. Why would you listen to this in slow motion? It's already short. I like to keep it short also. People's attention spans are, you know what? I'm actually going to not finish that sentence because I'll say this. There's podcasts and interviews and shit that I'll listen to, and I'm sure people also do this. I'm not unique in this. We'll listen to something that's like 2 or 3 hours long. And there's a way to do that, right? If you listen to like Joe Rogan or something who has like 3-hour interviews with people, and it's like, yeah, you break it up. You listen to like 20 minutes here walking to the train. You listen to like 15. You listen to 30 while you're cleaning up the fucking kitchen. You're making lunch. You're having whatever. You just break it up into shifts. Mostly the commute, I think, is the best time to listen. Although, I feel like there's just this crazy homeless problem right now in New York. And I feel like it's worse than it's ever been. I leave the apartment. I get on the fucking train to go to work, to go to other parts of the city. I live in Manhattan. I go to other parts of the city. And it's just like the train's pulling in. The cart is half empty because everybody's on one side of the cart because there's like 3 really smelly homeless people just laying across the bench. There's crazy motherfuckers walking around the street. And I definitely see this huge like mental health crisis with these homeless people on the street. And honestly, I think about this all the time. I'm like, I'm not a father, but at some point, should I become a father, the biggest concern I'm going to have, and eventually when I do become a father, the biggest concern I'm going to have is if I'm on the street, making sure my children are safe, right? And you got these fucking psychos walking around on the street. I saw this guy yesterday that was just screaming at people and running, like walking into the street. Don't give a fuck if a car is coming, like looking like he was like walking up to somebody to fight them. And I'm just like, this is just crazy, and like you see police just kind of standing around in little groups on a corner here and there. I was in Midtown, so a lot of times you'll see like, especially closer to like Empire State Building, like Grand Central and all this shit. You'll see Port Authority, all this shit. You'll see like those cops with the fucking German Shepherds and the big AKs and shit with the like heavily armored guys. But you'll see these other regular ass cops just standing around, fucking talking about whatever. And like right around the corner, there's this crazy person. You guys are like just standing there. You see it on the train. You see a couple cops on the platform, but you'll see crazy motherfuckers on the train yelling at people. And it's like, I don't understand whose job it is to make the public feel safe, I guess. But I guess it's not the police. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know how it works, right? I'm not a cop. I've got some family members that are police officers. And I don't talk to them. I just said I haven't spoken to my mom in like a week and a half, right? I don't speak to these motherfuckers. Not because I don't like them, just because we're not close. I used to watch a lot of TV as a kid, and I would see the families all together and all giving a shit about what everybody in the family thought. And it's like, I never and probably will never understand that because my family just wasn't like that. My family was just very like kind of hands off. I remember like when I was little, they tried to like have like Thanksgiving at one of my aunt's house all the time. And it was nice. But eventually, motherfuckers just stopped going. And it just always seemed like a little bit like there was just too much drama. And I don't understand why people choose to spend time around people that just don't make them feel good. And it's like, oh, but that's your family. So what? Why would I waste my precious time? We all work. We all have to do shit we don't want to do all the time. And if I'm using my free time to spend it with you, best believe you're a person that I want to spend time with. I'm not spending time around people that I don't fucking care to be around. It's just like, I just don't understand that. So Thanksgiving stopped happening. But one thing I feel like I learned at a young age is that I also just don't care for people that are just have this helpless fucking attitude and like they're always a victim. And I feel like there was a lot of that in my family personally. And I just couldn't get behind that. I think that there are things that are set up and there are systems in place. Like, you know, I know that there are systems in place that favor some people over others. I know that for sure, right? There's shit that I just can't do, you know? There's shit that like, I'm like, yo, I know for a fact that if I was a white man, I could probably drive a car that has no license plates on it with the music blasting over the speed limit on the fucking FDR and not get pulled over, right? But if I'm me, I'm getting pulled over right away. There's just shit like that in the world. But also, you really got to make your own, like, you got to pave your own way. You got to make your own path. You got to make your own luck. Whatever it is that people say, you got to do the shit for yourself. And you got to advocate for yourself because it's a fucking thing that I said in the beginning of the episode, right? The thing is, everybody thinks they're cool. Everybody thinks they're famous. Everybody thinks their friend group is the fucking, we're so wild. Like everybody thinks that they're the first fucking people that have ever done anything. And it's just not true, you know? But for me, I think it's more important to contribute some kind of positive light in people's lives. Like if people are going to know me, I want them to think of me and go, or smile or something. You know what I mean? Like he said something funny to me one time, or if Corey was in this situation, this is what he would do, and it'd be a good thing. Like, I don't want, like, motherfuckers to associate me with some of the negativity that I just talked about. I just refuse to be, like, for that to be a part of my name. Now, this is the thing, right? What I want and what happens, what we want and what happens, or how we want people to perceive us and how they actually perceive us can oftentimes be different, right? And what we do, though, is sometimes we'll just get too wrapped up in that. You really just got to live your fucking life. Some people are going to love you and some people are not going to care about you. And some people will just never know who you are. And that's cool. It's fine. The people who are important to you, make them feel like they're important to you. You know, make them feel it. Especially if they make you feel loved, right? There's no reason to not pay that forward. I guess I just went somewhere nice. For sure. Things are changing now. You know, Fruity Pebbles doesn't get soggy anymore. And so now I've seen it all. I'm just at a place where I guess with all my gray hairs and the fact that everything I see that's the new version of something that I knew as a child just seems preposterous to me. Apparently, I'm just an old man. So it's kind of cool, right? When you get into your 30s, look at me talking like there's not people that are in their 40s and 50s that are still youthful and spry. When you get into, I like being in my 30s, to be honest. I'm not one of those people that are like afraid to get old. But when you get into your 30s, my favorite part of it is you just don't have to react to shit really that you don't like. If you don't care about something, you can just act like you don't give a shit about it. You know, if you do care about something, fuck it, get excited about it. But like, you don't have to, or at least you should learn that, right? Because I'm speaking from my own experience and I'm just a very specific type of person, but you know, we all know people like my mom. I wish she would say no to more things because it's just for her own health. You know, there's people that we care about that we can all learn from each other. and I know I talk about my mom a lot on this show because I think she's a really good example. I think I've recently come to the realization that my mom, I used to look at my mom and my dad two different ways, right? I used to look at my dad like he was this really cool dude, handsome, jacked, short, very short man, but so short and still cool, which is kind of hard to do. Sorry for my short guys out there, but you could be a cool short guy, and every now and then that short guy complex can come out, and I've seen it, but I love a cool short dude. A lot of the short dudes like took over the fucking world, so there's a lot to be proud of. But anyway, my dad, cool short guy, handsome, ladies loved him, well dressed. He just had this swag always. And the older you get, you just kind of continue, you continue to evolve. And I always thought my dad was so cool, and my mom was just so loving, but also it was to the point where it was annoying. I'm just a little boy, like, Ma, get off me, leave me alone. All right, okay, Ma, all right. Like trying to be overprotective and shit. Like I'm not a fucking man, right? But that's how I felt when I was a young man. And now I think my mom is just so fucking dope. Like I think she annoyed me yesterday on the phone to the point where she is who she is, right? She annoyed me on the phone to the point where I was like, all right, I gotta go. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. Right. And I hung up because if I don't hang up, she'll keep talking. So, but I'm at a place where I'm just like, man, she's so strong. She's so bold. She's so true to herself always. And she always stands up for herself no matter fucking what. Yeah, she says yes to too many people. And she'll overextend herself. She might even double book still, which I think past a certain age is just unacceptable. But nobody's perfect. But one thing I admire about her is that she's just got such a kind heart. And she's been through so much, and she still just has such a kind heart. And to me, at this point, that's all I care about. Like, that's legitimately, I'm not trying to fucking, like, put up a front. I'm not trying to act cool for nobody. Like, I got, like, fucking 15 people listening to this fucking thing every week, right? Like, I'm really just speaking into a void, but thank you all for listening. She's got such a kind heart, and to me, that's everything. To me, I want to do everything. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I used to look at things like, I want to be cool. I want to be this. I want to be that. Maybe without saying it, but that's the idea. I want the fucking girls to love me. I want the dudes to think I'm fucking cool. Animals, right? I don't know what they have to do with it. But, like, now I really just look at this shit, and this might sound corny to you, but I just want to have a kind heart and really mean the things I say to people when I say them, or don't fucking say anything at all. That's it. Sincerity. Being genuine. Not letting bullshit turn me into a bad person. I know I touched on this a little bit last week, but it's just so true. Like, there are so many fucking reasons. You could go on Instagram and just keep looking at all these pages that keep popping up of people that you knew from when, and you're like, oh God, this person's annoying, this person's it's like, you could just be better. Don't be like this person. Be better. Don't be bitter, be better. I had this guy who used to say that to me all the time. Listen, I'm fucking done, but I feel really good. Thanks for listening to me go all over the place. Actually, wait, I thought about this last night, and I want to say this on here because I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but, remember when Scar had Mufasa killed to death in a fucking trampoline? It wasn't a trampoline. He got trampled. It was a trampoline, but he got killed to death by a bunch of animals with hooves. And he was like, Scar, brother, help me. I was really thinking about this last night. Scar was really fucking scrawny. There's no way he could have helped him anyway. But what he did was he added some insult to injury by scratching his fucking hands and saying, long live the king. But I tell you what, I think you people read into the Lion King too much. because I was reading on something on Nature is Metal, which I really want somebody from Nature is Metal to hear how many times I reference that Instagram page on my podcast. Somebody from Nature is Metal posted a post about how fucking from birth until death, the life of a male lion, because of the other male lions, is so brutal. So the Lion King makes a lot of sense, is all I'm saying. Listen, all these motherfuckers are always competing with each other. People are always competing. We're animals. Everybody wants to be the coolest and look at me. And now we have filters to make ourselves look prettier and younger and less fat. I don't know. Listen, I'm more ripped or whatever you like. But really what we should be trying to do is just love ourselves as we are, right? Go look in the mirror. There's not a filter there. Do you like that person? I don't know. Something to think about. All right, later.